nationally and internationally who maybe follow my YouTube channel and watch me sometimes in the morning, like today, or in the afternoon, in the evening. And sometimes I get intuition to do things. And right now I got the intuition that despite that I started to eat my breakfast, I make some information about my today for you, which is still in Budapest, in the capital of Hungary. And as you can see, my breakfast is very colorful. So I always try to use 3 eggs because the number 3 is somehow important in my life. I realized this very, very soon in my life, that somehow everything connects to number of 3. And the number of eggs represent this on my table. And usually, you know, if I put these 3 eggs in a pan, in a frying pan to make fried eggs like this, sunny side up, the sunny side up eggs, distribute them such that finally I can see a face in the pan. And today, you know which face it was? It was a extraterrestrial face, because the outside contour of the face, this is always dependent on the pan and on many things like the many things like the moisture, the fat which I use. So today I used butter. Yeah. So basically, I'm happy to be here in this moment. And still today I will be in Budapest because currently I'm still waiting, mainly because my cat has a little bit moody period, because we had an encounter in my new rental place. This is a wood block house, a small wood block house on a hill in the western part of the country, and we had a test night. So we slept, me and my cat slept in the wood house on Wednesday. And you know, on Wednesday it was a very first time event. My cat is a male cat named Zorro, and Zorro is 6 months, approximately 7 months today. She's a cat. She was in a free area of cats, so nobody knows the exact date of their birth, but approximately we know because it was in the garden of one of my friends. So basically, you know, I just wanted to tell you about this event on Wednesday, because my cat was waking me up in the night. That would never happened, you know, that I was woken up by any animal so far, because I have a dog and 2 cats, and they are always sleeping tight when I sleep, usually above my bed cover on my body or near my body. And this was the first night in the last half year that because I'm a new pet owner, so since 1st of August I have pets again, and so in this period, this was the first time that any of those animals woke me up. So it was a very remarkable Wednesday from that point of view. But unfortunately, the reason was that my cat found an animal, a wild animal probably, because I have never seen in the night. I only thought it's maybe a mouse, and my cat was also unsure what kind of animal that was. So she guarded the kitchen table with the kitchen sink and so on. I opened the doors because it was empty, so she can move inside and maybe catch or play with the animal. but she did not succeed because she was somehow hindered. Maybe because the animal was not a mouse and it could climb on the walls. Yeah, maybe that was the reason. Because finally, in the morning, when it was finally morning, there was a possibility where this animal was still there and it moved, and you can imagine that I was attentive. So when it moved, I tried to look what it is, and I have seen so long animal tail, which was gray color, so gray like yeah, it was gray. I never seen a gray colored animal tail like this. I just seen the tail, because you have to imagine that on the table it was like just protruding upwards, the kitchen table on the back, and I have not seen the animal itself, just the tail, and the tail looked like a furry gray tail of like a squirrel. You know, a squirrel is a small animal, and the squirrel has a furry tail, and usually I see it on trees. But I think, and my mother told me yesterday or the day before when I explained to her this, that it's probably a squirrel, and I should test to find it with a nut. So I will use walnuts. So my mother and father prepared me some walnuts, you can see, because they have in their garden. So when I next travel to this flat, then I try to meet the squirrel or any animal, because it's very disturbing for my cat, because not because it's a disturbing animal. I don't think that's any harm, but on a soul level, emotionally, my cat is currently in a period, because of this encounter on Wednesday, and we have now Sunday, so it's 4 days afterwards, and she's still not her old playful self. So basically, she was so deep in emotional trouble, the cat, Zorro, that on Friday I talked on phone with the pet veterinary, local pet veterinary doctor, and explained to her that my cat had the symptoms of very blank mood, no interest in contact, interest in being alone, no eating since a day. And we agreed both that this condition can mean two things. Either the animal, the cat, has eaten some foreign stuff, which is not healthy, and she has some poisoning. And then it's urgent. Or if this is not the case and can be excluded, then the cat has some kind of emotional trouble, because she explained to me, I have not known this because I'm new into cats, that cats are very moody. So dogs are stable emotionally, maybe it's their natural habit, some dogs, or more stable, but cats in general can be moody. That means if they feel some emotional trouble, so for example, not a safe environment, so she could not catch the foreign animal, and I could not solve the problem by removing the foreign animal so far. So the space inside the flat become somewhat frightening for my cat, probably. Yeah, that must have been a reason, because a cat who is birthed into freedom, and he was birthed into freedom, will have a hard time emotionally accepting threats inside, accepting any close quarters, or a close quarters including threats, possible threats. And that was a very hard lesson for me, because I take very seriously all the emotional events of any animal or person, and that's why I was explaining to you this situation. So in this detail, because on Friday the pet veterinary told me that yeah, it might be necessary to analyze the cat, but I explained to her that I'm very unsure whether there is more gain or more loss on an emotional side for the cat in this encounter, because I explained to the doctor on the phone that this cat has an emotional trouble, and this trouble has now to be reduced, and any activity on my side needs to take care that it is not increased. So I have to be patient, I have to care for silent environments, and basically she agreed on the phone that for that reason, yes, the cat is better for the cat to stay in this flat where I am not now, and let's say steadily increase slowly the emotional health of her, than to travel to the pet veterinary 2 blocks away and to enter a foreign space like the pet veterinary office and meet foreign people who touch her. So basically, this is I think this is a kind of way how a very, let's say, mindful pet person like this doctor is thinking about thinking about applying possible healthcare, let's say, measures which are preventive somewhat, but one has, I think it's right if we always look on the upsides and downsides of any healthcare influence, like we do as people also. So I think for pets, it's also important not to overshoot the healthcare activities, because it might be emotionally more harming than gaining on the activity which we are doing. So for example, I have very good friends in Sötze town. They are pet experts with horses and dogs and cats. And for example, they do not take. They are private persons, and they do a lot of private time, own time beside the work. So their hobby is to take care of free-range traumatic animals. You can imagine this is a very hard business. So if you think about caring for many animals, you can remember, maybe if you are into animals, I hope you are, then you maybe have read the book about dogs from this remarkable dog friend and dog lover Mexican. What was his name? He worked in the States and wrote many books. I read many books of him. So there is a very famous dog expert. I will remember his name soon. So he wrote 3 books, and he is the man. For example, I have seen him in streets of Hollywood, or I don't know, Los Angeles, or where in the States, where he himself alone was walking on the street with a pack of dogs, free range, and that was his job, or that was his very remarkable work with dogs. Now you can imagine that such people have very astonishing dog and animal knowledge. So I am very happy and very glad that myself have also such experts here in my country, in Hungary, because in my view, these experts, and I have told this to my friend Peter. I told, Peter, you have here a family house with a garden. You have 2 small kids who are going, let's say, in the kindergarten and in the primary school. In the house, this is not big house. You can imagine. In the house, your your wife, Reka, she's tending continuously, ongoing, more than 20 stray cats of serious injuries in her home, in the flat inside. So the dogs need to stay in the garden. Usually, sometimes they can come in the house, because in the house there are 20 cats in cages who are treated from injuries from private people in private time, from private money, okay? And in the garden, which is not big, they have continuously 4 stray dogs waiting for adoption. Okay, so you can imagine that in Hungary we have people like this. In my eyes, this is remarkable, because that means if someone is able to live a healthy life in a home like this and do it freely without any government money currently, because that's our situation. Our country is very small and very poor. Unfortunately, this is the situation. We are not happy about it, but we are always happy for what we have here in Hungary. So I think this explains to you the situation, why I am very glad that I have such friends when I ask questions about animals, because that's the only way where I feel safe in my any activity regarding animals, if I always have the feeling to have the possibility to talk with experts in my eyes. I do not need experts which have how to call it, official papers. I don't care for official papers. I care for experts where I feel safe. It works more for me. I'm a very unusual person. That usually astonishes people how I think, but I always put more attention to my feelings about situations and people and stuff than to actual. Of course, let's say the laws and the papers and everything which is the system is important to know, because we do not violate nothing. But reality for me is always when I have the not only the information but also the personal meeting or some more depths of the life of the person involved, because as you can see from this simple example regarding dogs, it can be interpreted very differently. So one would think that walking on the streets with a pack of dogs is like 100 dogs is a more difficult or easier, or is more expert or less expert, and somebody who never talks to the experts themselves and understands the let's say the difficulties which they have overcome to reach this position in life, in this area, they can never judge or they can never themselves reproduce anything which they do not know, or they can reproduce it but they cannot evolve it. So that's the issue with experts who just take the information and process it individually, and the difference between those people who are not only intellectually but also like in this case emotionally feel it, because if the animals live in my home, so stray cats in my home and stray dogs in my garden, and in the same space I'm able to live a healthy lifestyle, then my feelings is also okay with this. And it's not only the intellect, so it's a big difference if someone holds an animal in the garden only, or if someone takes the animal in the home and it's for me astonishing how what is the depth, you know, of these topics regarding animals. I was always fascinated by this kind of information. Not always, since I have woken up to my true self. So I have woken up to my true self in 2022, and at that point of my life, I was still engineering power plant condensers in a multinational company, and but my focus changed entirely. I had in all meetings and all areas, in all private, and I was a different person, and because I had a different focus, the focus changed. My life purpose was reflecting my actions more precisely, basically. Okay. So thank you very much. It is a pleasure talking to you. I just wanted to greet you on this Sunday, and maybe to wish you a sunny area somewhere in the free, where you can enjoy the day. Here in Budapest, in Hungary, the sun is already shining on the window in the back of me, because that's the eastern part of the city. So yeah, thanks for hearing me out, and have a nice day. Bye bye. I'm still a bit unusual with this motor. How come I should want to stop streaming? Yes, stop streaming. No, not stop streaming, but how was it? Uh-huh. Okay, first.